Give us a like and share. We've got one heck of a video today, August 10, 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the financial economic lockdowns coming to the United States, being warned by billionaires worldwide. I've talked about this very long time. People like Ray Dalio that have been exiting the United States before what I believe is a sovereign debt default in the United States, but we're also going to focus on your action steps today. Again, solutions, what you can do to get into real assets and learn about the new Homestead Act, Digital Homestead Act. Very, very incredible. August 10th, 2022. We also have a birthday. It's mom's birthday today. So there could be people ringing the doorbell any minute. They'll be bringing balloons, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be pretty sick. Please do us a favor, like and share this video. Austin did want to show you real money. He was surprised how heavy these silver sovereign rounds are. And he asked me, he's like, Dad, how much are these? I said, son, they're about, $28 to $30. That's a few $100s right there. I mean, this was what real money was before the fractional reserve banking system. By the way, Austin Green and I are doing an entire segment at school, bitcoinrich.com, later today on privacy coins, on privacy tokens, and the new technologies that we think are going to go to the freaking moon and 1000x. You should be learning about this. You should be learning about how to create monetary sovereignty, take control, have freedom over your own assets as we face economic and financial lockdowns coming very, very soon. Again, we have political chaos in the United States. We have culture wars in the United States. But today, let's talk a little bit about what the Homestead Act was. Son, I don't know if you've learned about the Homestead Act before. Has anyone ever taught you about the Homestead Act? No. No? Okay, well, the Homestead Act was an act. I'm reading here from Wikipedia, were several laws in the United States by which an applicant could acquire ownership of government land in the public domain for free. So this meant Americans were actually awarded 160 million acres, up to that, of public land, or nearly 10% of the total area of the United States for free. Think about this for a minute. Think about how much money we have to pay to have a homestead nowadays. To have pigs and goats and chickens and farms and grow our own food. We have to pay a lot of money. In fact, some of the world's wealthiest people are buying farms right now. Hello. And that was all given away for free. So the reason I bring this up today, and son, the reason why I think this is important is a learning lesson, is we essentially have a digital Homestead Act today. In fact, in the early days of Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, Bitcoin specifically, you could mine Bitcoin pretty much for free, and they were giving it away for free. So this is an important point. The most valuable assets in the world typically are given away for free before the masses catch on. It creates massive liquidity in an entirely new asset class. Now, as a reminder, there are links below, and there are links pinned, I believe, up here at bitcoinrich.com. What's the promo code, son?
Island Project!
To the moon, baby! So that's how you get in. You save $200. Again, you get all our fundamentals and more. In addition to that, we'll be teaching an entire segment on privacy coins and privacy technologies and alternatives specifically to smart contracts on private chains. So we know Ethereum is going through a major upgrade later this year, son, moving from a proof of work to a proof of staking system. But a lot of people are starting to look at some of those technologies, although they're really good, they're in the public sphere and doesn't really give you all the monetary sovereignty, control, and freedom and liberty that people like us want, the digital cowboys out there. So we also have a lot in the news today. Donald Trump is pleading the fifth, ladies and gentlemen. And supposedly there is a rat, inside Trump's Mar-a-Lago. You can see how heavy these coins are, what noise that they make. There's a rat inside Trump. So who is that rat, and how do we think this will pan out? Love you, son. And so what they're doing with Trump, let's talk about Trump here for a quick minute. They are intentionally persecuting Trump, okay? And I believe this is all part of the plan. I talked about this yesterday. This is persecution so that they later resurrect him, to divide the masses through a divide and conquer strategy, to pin people against each other on the right and left, to divide America across two very specific silos that I don't think is going to solve a lot of problems. And so, I always teach my kids, and I'm always teaching you as well at school, find solutions to problems, create income. Donald Trump's not going to help you make more money. Okay, he's not going to put food on the table for your family. In fact, when he was president, much of the economy, nothing against Donald Trump, but it was locked down for years. Millions of people weren't allowed to go to work. In fact, they told you to stay home. There should be a life and learning lesson there that the government's not going to help you get ahead, okay, in any way, whether or not this is Trump or Biden or some other dude that gets in. DeSantis as well. In fact, DeSantis, let's talk about DeSantis. He's probably worried right now, unless he's joining the Donald Trump ticket. What happened over the last couple of days with the raid on his Mar-a-Lago property sundown in Palm Beach was basically the calling card for Donald Trump's reelection. I don't think that there could have been a better thing that possibly could have happened to him. In fact, he probably even called it on himself. All right, son, what is the promo code again?
Island Project.
Island Project, bitcoinrich.com. So learn about monetary sovereignty. So here's my point, and son, you can stay as long as you want. You can go downstairs, you can hang out with your buddies if you want to do that as well. The point is, with bringing up the Homestead Act, is essentially cryptocurrency and blockchain. I did a Twitter space yesterday on this. Check me out on Twitter at AMTV Media. Is essentially the new Digital Homestead Act. In fact, there's going to be a massive, in my opinion, 1000x move to privacy-related technologies in the coming months as the global economy and first world countries like the United States lock financial assets up. Now, it sounds scary, but why are they going to do this? And they're absolutely going to do this. It's because we are in a sovereign debt collapse here in the United States, which they can never pay back the debt. Son, there is $30 trillion worth of debt. The Federal Reserve has held interest rates down at 0% forever. They spent trillions of dollars of taxpayer monies in terms of bailouts in 2008-09, trillions more fighting wars overseas. The PPP loans that mostly went to the Fortune 100, not the middle class. They've created hyperinflation. We now have stagflation with a zero negative growth world with an upside down pyramid scheme with Social Security, Medicare, and so much more. Son, this is why we own so much Bitcoin, right? This is why we own so much of these alternatives, silver as well, and gold as well, because you've got to get into real assets. Let's talk about Island Project for a minute. You should be learning about this at school as well, so you get that privacy video today. Plus, you get everything that we're teaching about Island Project, moving into hard assets, real estate, premier property here in Maui, our flagship, which is fractional ownership of the best of breed, most valuable asset class in the world. Oceanfront, beachfront homes, lifestyle enhancement, community tokenization, replicating those isle chains worldwide in a potential multi-1000x event as we replicate not just in the United States, from Hawaii, Maui, and Oahu, but around the world. You see, building alternative systems like this, ladies and gentlemen, is the new Sovereign Homestead Act. Okay, but we're going to be faced, Americans are going to be faced, especially you on fixed incomes. You're going to be faced with a lot of challenges moving forward. So how do I think, let me talk about how I think there are going to declare capital controls in the United States. Once we reach a crisis level of epic proportions, okay, probably in and around coming into the election, maybe after the election, so whoever is the next president settles in. It won't even matter if it's Trump. Trump will declare capital controls in the United States. In fact, Trump has been very anti-Bitcoin, and he shouldn't. Let me give you an example. His home was raided. His safe was broken into. You know what the authorities couldn't break into? Bitcoin. So if Trump doesn't own Bitcoin, he's really not that smart. And I would almost guarantee that his family, Ivanka and Jared Kushner, who lives over at 666 out in Manhattan, definitely owns Bitcoin and this technology. So I believe in the height of this crisis, in the height of this wealth transfer, which is exactly what it is, the next president of the United States, whether or not it's Trump or Biden, will not matter, will declare capital controls as things unravel in a stagflationary collapse. Now what this means, son, do you know what stagflation is? It's kind of loud, so let's not play too much. So you can if you want. But stagflation means there's no growth, okay, at all. There's no economic growth, and the only thing propelling it is debt. Okay, and this is where we sit in the United States of America today, on a mountain of debt, which is why Joe Biden is going to reset with a debt jubilation, a jubilee, the entire debt-based model as it implodes and as they take from the middle class through inflation, which is a silent tax. Probably why they've hired tens of thousands of new IRS agents, that we just saw in recent weeks. Again, they got to get the money from somewhere, son. And what they do is, basically every American that goes to work today works half of the year to pay the government before they earn any money. Does that sound fair?
No.
That doesn't sound fair at all. Half of the year you go to work to pay the government before you get paid a dime in the United States. That is nuts, ladies and gentlemen. Half of your income taken away. While the richest elites, 0.001%. Go ahead.
It's kind of like you're kind of working for the government.
Exactly. I mean, basically, Americans work for the government because they're taking half of their income before they even get paid a dime, when a lot of these other companies pay zero in taxes. Son, did you know Amazon paid zero federal taxes? I believe it was in 2018. Let's look this up. Zero. No taxes at all. In fact, Amazon turned its first profit after a large deal with the Central Intelligence Agency in its early days when Jeff Bezos founded the company. That's kind of interesting as well.
And Jeff Bezos owns Amazon.
He does own Amazon. He's one of the richest people in the world. So in 2021, let's see here. It looks like they reported $2.3 billion in federal income tax expense, $5.2 billion in other federal taxes. And I'm trying to find the specific year here. There was a few specific years where Amazon, Nike, and FedEx completely avoided paying federal taxes, which is absolutely insane. And the real tax rate of people like Elon Musk is like 4 or 5%. Let's talk about that as well. Notice that Elon Musk has come out within the last couple of hours saying he's going to save the world, ladies and gentlemen. So I want you to think about these two components. You have the persecuted Donald Trump, okay, that this is all, a part of the plan. They're going to persecute him, okay? They're going to maybe prosecute, maybe even arrest him. Something else could happen. And then they're going to resurrect him, okay, as we come into the election of 2024. We also have Elon Musk planning, this is a quote, he has a master plan to, quote, save the world, son.
And he is not going to save the world.
Who's going to save the world?
God.
God is. Jesus Christ is going to come save the world. So be very, very skeptical, okay, of anyone telling you. Elon Musk is now openly saying he's going to save the world. It's his master plan for mankind. Okay, so be on your tippy toes, you Christian, spiritual, special forces warriors out there. We know what is coming next, and it's not going to be pretty. Now, consumer inflation has not stopped. Okay, let me explain how bad this is. It's supposedly good news on Wall Street that consumer prices only were raised 8.5% in July. I think they expected like 10%. Okay, real inflation's far more than that. Eggs have gone up like 47% in the last year. Oil's doubled, even though we've seen gas come down a little bit, not here in Maui, not here in Hawaii. Housing's tripled. Okay, so the cost of everything, but they're cheering. Wall Street is currently cheering that prices only rose 8.5% in July, which was less than expected. Okay, as inflation, as they say, inflation pressures ease a bit. Nothing's changed in Taiwan.
And
go ahead.
And Bitcoin never inflates.
You are 100% right. I've taught you well. Bitcoin, which is fractional, which is like the new Digital Homestead Act, the entire cryptocurrency market, Bitcoin specifically can never inflate because there's only 21 million coins that they'll ever mint. And these miners, which speak to each other, son, and basically through confirmations confirm in a transparent network, block by block, that transactions can't be repeated and it can't be broken. And this is completely different from the money system currently in place today with privately owned central banks that no one votes for at all, that is actually owned by private investors, that set monetary fiscal policy through a fractional reserve system that only benefits them. Again, the people that have gotten really, really rich in the last couple of years were only the essential ones, son. Most of us are just non-essential in the eyes of the government. It's quite extraordinary, which I don't think is right. See, I think the American people are the most essential ones. Now, this is why you need to be building alternative inroads. Okay, Island Project is a real asset base of real estate, but it's also tokenized, pays cash flows, large capital gains potential, a community that's tokenized, that's also replicatable worldwide that you can also use too, which is really cool. So which one do you like the best? Do you like these sovereign? These are from 2014 here. I've had these for a while. My grandfather actually used to collect gold and silver, and I inherited a lot from him. This is something I've bought. Yes, Austin is growing up, and he's super handsome, and he's super smart. In fact, Austin is really, really good at math. He is super good at math. In fact, he's probably better than I am at math. He takes after his mom in that area. So we are faced, ladies and gentlemen, with unprecedented times. Listen to this, son. We just had eggs this morning. Okay, I'm about to eat mine. I think you had eggs and bacon. Was that correct? Egg prices in the U.S. jumped 47% as food inflation hits highs not seen since 1979, ladies and gentlemen.
And it can go even higher.
It's going to go higher. It's going to go much higher. I mean, for those of you...
Eggs could be $100,000.
It could be in a hyperinflationary collapse. We might not be able to afford eggs, which is why we need chickens, right? Which we have a lot up here, up country out in beautiful Maui. So we're really lucky. We got farmers markets. We got a lot of healthy foods. We could even climb trees and just, drink from coconut milk and those kinds of things as well. By the way, Austin's a really good eater. He loves fruits, loves vegetables. What's your favorite fruit?
Dragon fruit.
Dragon fruit. I don't know if you guys have tried that before. It's really good. He loves it. It's what, purple?
Yeah.
It's like purple. It's got the little seeds in it. That's really, really good. So also Europe is facing massive gas cuts. It's dimming its lights, cooling poles, and telling people, Europeans, you're just going to have to suck it up, ladies and gentlemen, because they've imposed sanctions on Russia, and now you're going to freeze. How about them apples? And congratulations to your leadership in Europe and here in the United States. It's the American people that suffer again and again as a result of inflation, and now most of Europe could freeze this winter as a result of the sanctions, of which Putin is still winning the war, ladies and gentlemen, in Ukraine, dominating the region, and now China's about to take Taiwan by force. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. How about them apples? Yes, Julio, we need to pray. Okay, let's go to some of our amazing students that just joined, and we're gonna read your names out live here on camera, and I want you to stick around because we got that privacy video coming at school, bitcoinrich.com, guys, today. Okay, you get all of our videos plus that one. And there's some 1000x opportunities in that. Getting off financial advice. We're not financial advisors. We're just cool cats from Maui Boo, hanging out. We love what we do. We love you and we love Jesus. And by the way, for a little motivation, as long as you're in line with Jesus Christ and you're doing and asking what he would want you to do, everything in any obstacles that you have, he'll write your path. When a door closes, he'll open it up. Okay, let's welcome P. Vaughn. He's from Tracy, California. Just joined bitcoinrich.com private limited academy. Links below and up here. Angela.Ava Waterman just joined from Calgary, Alberta. God bless you. Angela, so happy to have you a part of our program. Just join bitcoinrich.com. Links below. I'll read your name out. We also have Lady M09, just joined bitcoinrich.com, limited seating, private academy. Doesn't say where you're from. It actually looks like you paid in, what currency is that, son? Do you know right there? That's the, looks like the British pound right there. Okay, they paid in the British pound. That's Lady M09. We also have Pure Potatoes, Inc., just joined Bitcoin Rich Limited Seating Private Academy. Alexander Ladiza, if I'm saying that correctly, Huntley, Illinois just joined. Thank you for joining BitcoinRich.com Limited Seating Private Academy. Demond 810 just joined Bitcoin Rich Limited Seating Private Academy. Heba 1292, JCT 19382, and Austin Womi out of Cork, Colorado. There's actually another.
My name.
Your name, buddy. Your name. We also have Chihi Pak from Phoenix, Arizona. Okay, let's talk about the tokenization of all asset classes worldwide. The number one use case for blockchain, ladies and gentlemen, is real estate. Okay, is fractionalizing all assets and creating new asset classes, whether or not this is the tokenization of the stock market, fractional shares of Apple computers, which will be tokenized on the blockchain, or it's real estate access and assets like luxury homes, oceanfront, beachfront property, middle America homes. In fact, all of the billionaires, my son knows this, are moving into the space right now and are starting to tokenize middle America. So for example, in the future, you'll be able to buy $100 share worth, and it could be tokenized in the future, of, let's say, a home in Detroit. Or you could buy $150 or $1,000 worth of homes in Los Angeles County. You could buy commercial property. And this is what you need to understand. I think a lot of people are catching on to this, but if you're not learning about this seismic transition event, this worldwide event, the number one technological trend, which is the blockchainification.
I made a machine.
You made a machine of all assets, you're going to be left behind. In fact, I know a lot of older cats in various industries that are simply just eagerly learning about blockchain because they know that they don't understand it, and if they don't, their businesses, your job, and your careers are going to be at a severe disadvantage. This is one of the reasons why I encourage you. Your education, number one, is key, and it's the first thing you should do. It's why you should be learning about this at school. We may go to some questions here in a moment. Also, we are pumping hard today, son. Check this out, bro. Our entire cryptocurrency portfolio is moving a lot higher today. We are in the green. Bitcoin 23,000, ICP up 4%, ETH up 7.86%, Coinbase stock up 4%. There was a massive investment by BlackRock. BlackRock manages $8 trillion worth of assets, son. I mean, they're basically Wall Street, and they just bought into Coinbase. And you can see here, I don't know if that's coming in, we're well above $1 trillion in market cap. Again, this is going to be a 10x, I believe, a $10 trillion marketplace in the very, very near future. In fact, Mike Novogratz, famous investor, major hedge fund manager, who's done extremely well in the blockchain crypto space, just came out today, says he still thinks crypto's in a secular bull market. I would agree, Mike. He says that the downturn is over. I would agree. Has high conviction on particular assets, which one of them I'm going to talk about at school and actually reveal to all of you at bitcoinrich.com later today. So unprecedented, ladies and gentlemen, economic financial lockdowns coming to the United States very, very soon. Again, it will be for your own good, they'll say. This is what the government always says, son. It's for your own good that we shut everything down. It's for your own good that you work half of your year and pay us first, even though we print money from nothing, okay? And then career politicians like Nancy Pelosi.
All they can do to make more money, they don't have to have the people make money for them. They can just print as much money as they want. So why not work for the government?
Well, absolutely. And you look at it too, son, all these good Americans like ourselves that are actually productive, employ people, take risk with our own capital to go out, make money, and then solve people's problems by coming up with solutions are the ones punished. When the government itself can print as much currency as they want, and then they're hyperinflating our savings and even discouraging us from saving. And then once we hit retirement, we're not even sure we'll receive Social Security, since many people believe it to be bankrupt. And it's just not sustainable because the demographics now can't support all these rising debt loads of a baby boomer generation. These are just the facts that outweigh the younger generation, which a lot of the younger generation, sadly, I think this is true, doesn't even want to work. In fact, I notice this a lot, even about my current generation. A lot of people just really don't want to work at all. They're lazy. And notice that they're even selling this right now. Every article you hear on like CNBC.com is like, Bob Jones lives in Thailand and makes $150,000 a year in passive income, does nothing, sits on his butt all day. This can be you too. Why are they propagandizing you that way? Because they don't want you to work. See, they're going to move everyone to universal basic income. So they're promoting laziness, gluttony, which I actually think is a sin. I actually do think this is a sin. I think laziness and not being productive is like being a glutton. And I actually think it's a sin to do that. Not that it's not cool to retire, not that we're supposed to work all the time, not that you can't take a day of rest on the Sabbath or anything like that, but I think we're meant at least to volunteer ourselves, serve the church, serve people. That's really how we live our best life, son, is we've got to serve others and we got to serve Jesus Christ, as long as we're capable of doing that, and then we should help others as much as we possibly can as well. What's happening in the United States is unprecedented, ladies and gentlemen. You need to understand this is a sovereign collapse, much like happened with the British pound when the UK, or England specifically, lost its sovereignty, not just its economic power and its political power, but its financial power as world reserve. So the United States petrodollar is no longer the world reserve currency, which is why there's all this hyperinflation. And the quicker Americans wake up to this, which they're starting to because their real wealth is declining. If your home is tripled in value, but the cost of everything that you need for food and survival has also tripled, you haven't won anything. You've actually lost. It actually is brilliant that these government officials are this smart because Americans, they just don't really see, not everyone sees that, it would be different if they taxed you directly, but if they silent tax you through inflation, Americans are like, yeah, whatever, we don't care. Our quality of lives are declining, but it's kind of like an invisible tax. It's really kind of peculiar.
And this is what they do for the people that don't have much money. They give the money, then the people buy something with the money, and then it goes straight back to the government because they bought it, and then the people that they bought it from has to pay it to the government in tax, and then they just get back the money.
Yeah, so not only get paid on income, right? So you work half of your year, half of your life to pay the government, and then they tax you on your investments, so twice, and then they tax you a third time, Austin, after you are no longer here on this planet and you go to the kingdom. So you get taxed 3 times. I mean, this is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is what Rome did. Rome used to tax its citizens even if you didn't live in Rome. You could be anywhere else in the world, and the U.S. does the exact same thing. You can be receiving nothing from the U.S. government, which I don't believe I've ever received anything from the U.S. government at all. I've just been taxed, abused, told I'm non-essential, told that I have to stay in my house, told to live in fear, okay? And then as a productive worker with actual real businesses that create value, employ people, and actually create, profitability, okay, and enhance and are value focused, are punished for doing that. While the largest...
Why would you be punished for doing something good?
I don't know. And you kind of have to play the game though. And this is important for our audience to know. Life isn't fair. The reason why the Fortune 100 don't pay taxes is because they have a lot of high-priced attorneys that they can hire, and they also own all the lobbyists in DC that make the laws. So Fortune 100 just makes laws that benefits them.
Laws that are kind of crazy, like if you jump, you will be killed, and that's
that wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be good at all. Yeah, we wouldn't want that. And we've seen a lot of tragedy in America. America's not perfect. There's been a lot of heartache and tragedy, since its inception. And we've had world wars, and we're unfortunately in one now too, son. Which we're going to have to do our best to remain positive in that environment. But this is what governments do. I mean, the United States, just like Rome, the reason it collapsed is because they basically spent all their money, clipped their coinage, and then went bankrupt fighting all the foreign wars, which is what the United States is doing. I mean, they left, tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars in military equipment in Afghanistan, and a total failure. Remember when they lied to us about Pat Tillman? I don't think you were old enough, but they said Pat Tillman was taken out by the enemy, but that was actually a lie. They just used him as propaganda, and that was really terrible that they did that to his family and his parents and his brother. But again, we do have to think critically and understand that these things do happen. Again, the greatest skill set I think that we can all learn, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest skill set we can teach our children, not just for homeschooling, et cetera, is teaching them how to critically think. Okay, I mean, this is an unbelievable skill that everybody needs. To think about why things are happening around us and then position to succeed in that environment. What else, son? What else do you have here today? It is August 10th, 2022.
August 10th? My birthday's August 30th.
It is August 30th. It is coming up, man. You are growing up fast. Stock market is up massive today, up 500 points again. Huge hyper pump. Who told you that that was going to happen on the less than expected, only 8.5% consumer prices? We have Donald Trump says he refused to answer questions in the New York AG's probe of business. He is now pleading the fifth, and I already mentioned that someone thinks that there was a leak as a part of his crew that could have given information on what documents he may or may not have had. But here's what people are concerned about. Did those that raid his property plant stuff that wasn't there? And some people think that that could have happened. We saw this with Watergate in certain respects. We've seen this with, JFK. We've seen this with other political leaders like Malcolm X, MLK, et cetera. There's been some, trouble in our history as well, son. Okay, you want to stick around or you want to go downstairs and play?
Stick around.
Okay, sticking around, ladies and gentlemen. What else can we tell you today? So again, in summation, the new Digital Homestead Act is moving into real assets, which they're pretty much giving away for free right now. After we 10x in the cryptocurrency market, and we're sitting at a $10 trillion market capitalization, and a multi-quadrillion asset class is fractionalized, like what we're doing with Island Project, which is a multi-billion-dollar opportunity, then you won't be able to get a hold of these assets at the same low-level prices that you currently can. So I want you to think about this. Even in the early days of Bitcoin, you could mine Bitcoin essentially for free, and you would have been a millionaire. Just like they were giving away free land, what was it, in the 1800s, which is amazing to think about, 160 million acres. You could just take hundreds of acres, plant your flag. See, this is absolutely what we're doing, democratizing Island Project, where we're all planting our flags, building a community and a prepping community. I mean, hey, if crap hits the fan, son, we own a lot of great properties up here, and we just all hunkered down with all of our Island Project members. We got our own food, we got our properties, we've got great community, we've got our faith, we've got our ranching, got a lot of great farmers out here that we're working with as well.
Can you buy a farm?
Absolutely. In fact, our audience can buy farms, and they can buy ag land through Island Project. That's the beauty of it. They own a fractional piece of the farm, of the upcountry land, and then all the homes, which sit next door to all the billionaires like Jeff Bezos and others. And these are $10 million properties that keep going up.
Do you know that one of the audience, in a couple of years before we did the live video, had enough, made millions and bought a yacht because he listened to Dad.
He did. That's a cool story. I'm surprised you actually remember that. But yeah, one of my students made millions of dollars and bought a yacht, and he's actually sailing it to Napili Bay. I also have a Hexican who made a lot of money. This is even outside of Island Project. He's an investor, and I'm putting together a $50 million portfolio of just real estate for him personally, who's a Hexican that made tons of money in the early days of BitcoinRich.com Academy. Here's the thing, son. I still think it's the early days today. And that's where I think a lot of people are missing. I mean, $1 trillion in cryptocurrency market cap is absolutely nothing. And what's up, Big Daddy C? What's up, Alex? What's up, Bobby C? And by the way, we have to say it's not financial advice, son. We don't guarantee that you'll make money, but we'll guarantee that we'll change your life. We'll change your attitude. We'll help you think and grow Bitcoin rich. We'll teach you the skills to create cash flows, how to get a new job, how to create new income streams, even if you have a good job and you work for a great company, and basically just improve your resume too and your knowledge base, because if you're not constantly learning, son, man, you're not getting ahead. You're not getting ahead. James says he's always talking to family and friends about cryptocurrency, but he's lost at how to reach them. Well, I would just keep telling them about it. You don't have to force anything. You know, people will learn over time as this becomes more mainstream, just kind of like the internet. I remember I was telling a lot of people about social media 15 years ago, and they didn't believe me then either. And then later I was consulting them on how to start their business in it. So the same thing's going to happen in blockchain tech, and it's really going to impact real estate. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of people, I would even argue that this is like true. You should fear what's coming if you don't understand the technology. Like if you're a real estate person, maybe you're very successful in the space wherever you might be around the world, and you're not blockchainifying the business, you won't have a business in a couple of years, because disruptors like us are going to destroy the paradigm of that modern system. And by the way, I haven't even talked about the blockchain component yet of Island Project and the revolutionary things we're going to do technically that I think is going to eradicate a lot of the middlemen and women in the industry and completely revoke the old model, which just isn't needed, is not efficient anymore. I mean, there's going to, like, for example, our blockchain can just buy property. You want to sell your property? Island Project will buy it from you instantly. And then you'll hold the keys into your wallet of that asset. It's portable and mobile. We'll handle all the middlemen technologies of, for example, legal, closing docs, title, insurance. All of that can be built into a blockchain and happen instantaneously, and you don't need the traditional system at all. The only thing holding together the traditional system is the National Association of Realtors and the lobbyists that don't want the change to happen. But it's going to happen inevitably. So my point is I'm just trying to encourage you guys, whatever industry you are, this is ubiquitous. Okay, just like people didn't really catch on to social media, and then 15 years later, I'm entering my studio in Phoenix of 6,000 feet, and I see everybody from dentists to personal assistants to influencers to attorneys with cell phones, and they're all speaking into a camera trying to grow their online audience. The same thing's going to happen with blockchain. So, you know, there's such a massive advantage of being a first mover. And I mentioned this yesterday, we have a lot of you from Texas that have joined Island Project. Our Texas patriots, which we love, a lot of smart Texans out there. We've got a lot of you from Florida, Canada, Australia, a lot of you from Hawaii, a few of you from California, you know, looking to escape. Idaho, the Panhandle, got a lot of you badasses there. I mean, what's so dope about it is not only we have a lot of believers, you don't have to be a believer, obviously, to be a part of Island Project. It's just an amazing opportunity. But, you know, the common theme is that we're all...
But you do have to be a member of BitcoinRich.com to do Island Project.
Correct, and that is a requirement because we're a private placement, which means we're Reg D and that we need a pre-existing relationship with you. And that's how we have filed for the offering of Island Project itself. So there's only people within our existing community and members. You're right about that, son. I have taught you well. Let's see what else is in the news today. I would keep my eye on a couple different places. Keep your eye on Iran. Keep your eye on Jerusalem. Okay. Keep your eye on Taiwan. In fact, let's go take a look what's going on with some competing media right now, because we pretty much have a blackout in U.S. media, which has been occurring for some time now over the last few years. China has just said that a good part of their mission is accomplished around Taiwan. And G7 has issued a nuclear demand to Moscow. Vladimir Putin, who's super healthy, by the way, never been healthier, playing ice hockey every day. Everything you heard about his health, not true at all. The media is just putting that information out there. Stronger than ever, riding horses. You've all seen the pictures of Putin. This guy is strong, much, much healthier than Biden. I mean, Biden can't even ride a bike. I showed my son that, where he just kind of flatlined. Good thing he was wearing a helmet. Extremely embarrassing for the United States. But Moscow has withdrawn from the nuclear treaties now. So there's a lot of people fearing that there could be a nuclear event that would affect Europe. And of course, they can't control the wind stream and the Gulf Stream, so to speak, if that's coming into Europe. Also, we had that PSA warning in New York not too long ago as well. So that is very, very, very concerning. But our main point in today's video is that you guys need to prepare for financial economic lockdowns. None of this is over yet, ladies and gentlemen, and they're going to be pushing this very, very soon. This is the only way that they can reset the system. And again, because they can never pay back the debt, son, they're just going to create a whole new system. And in the meantime, they're going to inflate everyone through a silent, invisible tax to transfer wealth to move us to basically what they're going to do next. This is why it's good that we're preparing now.
And did you know they're trying to make Mars a place where people can live under a big dome?
Yeah, and I don't really believe that. I don't think that they can go to Mars, personally. I don't know. It says in the Bible that isn't the earth or the planet God's footstool? Mm-hmm. So, what I hear from what I read in the Bible, I'm going to go with that, personally. And so, we haven't even been back to the moon, son. Since when was the last time? I think the 1970s. We've only been once. That's it. You would think we'd have moon bases and they'd be studying rocks all day and doing experiments. In fact, there should be like an entire civilization on Mars right now, or not Mars, but the moon. And they haven't even been back. When was the last time? Last time they went to the moon, was, what was it? Yeah, 1972, that's it. So they went in 1969. They allegedly live streamed, when I can barely run a live stream now with 5G, and they live streamed it with audio visual in 1969. I just want you to think about this. And they didn't know what was going to happen. They didn't even know if these guys would perish on the moon. They'd never been there before, supposedly. So they were taking a huge risk. See, I think it was more, my opinion, propaganda, son, to win the Cold War. It was more of a psychological operation than it was anything else. I mean, again, haven't been back since 1972, guys. This is like living in the Truman Show, right? Where they tell you that there's a certain reality, but the reality doesn't exist. Or it's like when a politician, son, tells you what you want to hear, and then they do the exact opposite, which we see pretty much all the time with all the politicians, which is why your daddy isn't a politician. See, I'd rather build real world solutions and have an impact than I would want to be with inside the corrupted government halls, which don't get anything done at all. It really is pathetic, actually. What else do we have here? I think we're going to close. We've been on for about 40 minutes. Let's show you how to join BitcoinRich.com. Let's drop a link right now, son. Here, let me go ahead and do this. And let's show the audience and welcome all of you aboard. You can just see here on our beautiful computer screen, you can see the Island Project Palm Tree Sailboat with the BitcoinRich.com homepage, which I have a pinned link up at the top and also in our description. Okay, and I'll drop that and pin that in a moment. You can join that. You enter the promo code. What's the promo code, son? Island Project, ladies and gentlemen. So you get all of our fundamental videos and more. You get all of our advanced topics. You learn how to create cash flows. You learn about Island Project, the tokenization of real estate, and so much more. And you also get in at the price today, which saves you the $200, which you're not going to be able to get in the future unless you execute on that today. We also have some really cool interviews that I've done, some of our freedom events. You get Freedom Fest. And a lot of bonus videos on 1000xing your health, your wealth, your love life, your personal life, your family. And I think a lot of you know this about me, but I'm a family man too. I'm a super blessed guy. So not in addition, I'm actually real life living proof that you can do and have it all. I work my butt off, obviously. My primary motivation are my kids, my family, of course, and my community here, you guys. But I'm a real life example. It's not just me. I know a lot of people really hyper-focused on themselves, which is great, I think, in certain stages, and maybe you're not meant to get married, and that's cool too. But I'm like a real living example of somebody that runs multiple businesses, creates cash flows, finds and creates value in the world, takes care of his family, puts food on the table, and I'm so blessed, beautiful family and wife and kids. And that's not easy, ladies and gentlemen. I know you other dads out there and you moms out there, or even you single dads or single moms, know it's not easy. And I just want you guys to know that we're all working together to improve all of our lives together. And again, I think that inaction, okay, is like being a glutton. And I think not working is like being a glutton a lot of the times. And I think people that are lazy, that we should not be lazy, that we should serve as much as possible, and we should be the best that we can be. Because I don't know about you, man, I wake up every morning and I say, thank you, God, for this glorious day. Thank you for giving me another opportunity. Thank you for my family, be able to hold my son, give you a kiss, speak with my beautiful audience, and then help people go out and kick some major butt. I mean, you think Tony Robbins is cool, guys. Wait till you get into our school and think and grow Bitcoin rich. Wait until you learn the skill sets of freaking 1000x and go to the freaking moon. And wait till you learn about privacy coins and tokens and how to build the ISLE chain network and the Island Project. Guys, no one else in the world is doing this. It's an incredible digital Noah's Ark. It is a real life opportunity for your success. I want to see you at school. I want to see you guys kick butt. I want to elevate you guys, take you to the next level. Realize that you can do what you want in life, and that you can raise the bar, and there's no competition at the top, and you'll find it's a strategic advantage soaring to the freaking moon and beyond and thinking 1000x. Everything you think about in your mind is the truth. Whether or not you're down on yourself, and that's the truth, or you're thinking highly and you're thinking boldly and you're taking risks. And if you really want to get ahead in life, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to invest in yourself, you've got to invest in new technology, and you've got to take that risk in an environment which is going to be harsh. Financial economic lockdowns, economic financial sovereign collapse into a new system, reset of the new currency into a new digital system, the blockchainification of every industry worldwide, and largely the eradication of jobs permanently, more work from home. But within that seasonality of destruction, world war, and all these things we're going through, there will be new seasons. Maybe not my lifetime, but my son and all of us good parents want to lift our kids up. Hopefully his season will be even better than mine. And even if he isn't, he'll be so rock solid in his faith in the Lord and being a good person and exuding that light. People always say, Christopher, why have kids? Because they're the light of the world, ladies and gentlemen. They're the ones that are going to change things. They're our weapons, okay? They're in Christ, our Lord and our King. That's why you have children, because we're all saved. And this world is immaterial and it's not permanent. And the only thing eternal is through Christ our Lord and the amazing kingdom. And I want all of that for you guys as well. So we love you so much. God bless each and every one of you tuning in. I see someone put out Proverbs 28:12. We'll take a look at this after this video. Yes, these are the foundation principles, just like the three little piggies. Austin and I are telling you here, do not build your foundation with straw or hay.
Build it on the rock.
Build it on the rock, okay? You need a strong backbone in this environment. The ark that Noah built, and people thought he was crazy until it started to rain and flooded out the whole world, was built solid, okay? So build yourself up spiritually solid, family solid, career solid, cash flow solid, okay? Join communities like ours, the Island Project, and more like it, okay, and help us build the road to your own success. Realize that you truly can have it all, ladies and gentlemen, as long as, it's God's will and it's what he's going to allow, but you're going to have to put in the work. Your life is so short. If you're not taking massive action today, I don't know what you guys are doing. And especially if you've been here this whole video at 46 minutes and you haven't clicked the link below and gotten in, I mean, you've almost wasted your own time. So if you think this was valuable, if you like our content, then get into bitcoinrich.com at the school. Ask us anything. Join our forum section. Read about and learn about Island Project and this new technology and all the amazing stuff we're doing. And even get some personal life and stuff and some perspective. We're leveling that up as well. It's taken about 90 days or so, but we got new apps coming, live streams coming. I've spent actually a lot of money, about $100,000, at least I think, for the upgrades. It was kind of expensive to get all those apps out and everything just recently. So if you get in now, you're going to get grandfathered into all of that. And not to mention, everybody on board an Island Project gets private messages and videos in that community framework that you're not going to get anywhere else in the world, showing you all the opportunities, showing you all the properties. We're like an investors group on top of what we're doing as well, where who do you think I'm networking with and building new business with? I'm building business with our Island Project members, okay? We've created an incubator, not just for new technology, but entrepreneurship, businesses, faith, etc. We're all working together. This is what is needed to change the world, ladies and gentlemen. And we are changing the world. And what's incredible about it is actually a serious business opportunity on top of it. This is a massive industry dynamic shift, paradigm shift, and into an entirely new system and an entirely new world. Be the good guys. We're the good guys. Be the lights in this world. Let's hook up our ships together, okay, and do it together. Anyways, guys, we love you. What is the promo code, son? Island Project! We want to see you at school. 1,000 freaking X to the freaking moon. Link below or up here. Get in and we'll read your name at the next live broadcast.